The energy of change. We are here for you and for all those who desire to understand the greater meaning of life. For those who seek deeper answers, we are here to tell you that this wisdom is available to you always. This wisdom does not have to be sought. You do not have to search the books of knowledge that others have published. The more profound meaning of life is available to all those who are prepared to look inward. Look deep into that part of you that is us. Feel the tingle deep within, and you will remember who you truly are. It is there within all humans. It is that part of you that is infinite. But our message for you today is not about what many of you already know, and more of you are discovering every day. Our message is not about the spirit within. It is about the human aspect of your life. Today we wish to speak to you about making your human sojourn as pleasant as it can be. There is much stirring up on your planet in these days of great potential for change. Many of you do not see it that way, and we can understand why. When you insist on holding on to the past ways of doing things, you will often not see the potential for change that is all around you. As a matter of fact, it is in your persistence to holding on to the old ways that is causing so much turmoil on your planet. We realize you are fearful, but let us assure you that keeping the ways of the past will not make life easier at this time. As a matter of fact, the contrary is true. The energy of your planet is shifting. The winds of change are upon you, whether you acknowledge them or not. So yes, change is going to occur. That is a given. It has been decreed, so to speak, by the great Creator. The changes you are seeing in your world that for some seem uncomfortable and unpleasant are proof that you are in the era of great change. As we have told you, all life is circular. We shall not give you more detail on this principle of life at this time, for it is not part of this teaching. We merely bring it up to explain that many times before on your planet the energy of change was present, the part of the life cycle where great transformations occur. There are some periods in times past where this energy was stronger than others. But you, dear ones, are now on the cusp of a period in your human history where great change will occur. This is not an option. No, you cannot stop the changes that will be coming to your world, for the energy of change has come forth, and no human can stop or alter this energy. That can be done only by the source itself. We have told you many times that what makes your planet special is the fact that you have free choice. Yes, the privilege of choosing freely. And although, as we have mentioned at the beginning of this message, there is a part of you that is us, the human part of you has been created separate from the unity that is spirit. And the freedom of choice resides in that part of you that is separate, your humanness. So if the energy of change is now upon your planet, the only thing that will determine what kind of change is to come forth is the choices made by the collective consciousness. In other words, what you, the human inhabitants of your planet, choose to be those changes. Let us emphasize that major change is and will continue to happen for a specific period of time. How long this period of change will last is not important at this time. What is important is what kind of change will occur. Many of you have heard of the mystical places of Atlantis and Lemuria. Let us assure you, they were real. They existed in the physicality of your planet. They existed at very different times in your human history, and although they had similarities, they were very, very different. And we hear you ask, why are they not here today? The answer is simple. As each of those cultures face the energy of change, as everything does in the cycles of life, They chose to disappear, to disintegrate into nothingness. And of course, we hear you say, that makes no sense. Your logic is sound. It does not make sense. Why would thriving, highly evolved cultures choose to vanish? The answer resides in the word choose. As we have said, you reside on the planet of free choice. What occurs, all that has ever occurred on your planet, was by your choosing. However, let us clarify that not choosing is definitely a choice. Yes, by doing nothing, you are choosing, because in every moment of every day, there are over 7.5 billion choices being made, whether you know it or not. So it is possible in the highly evolved cultures of Atlantis and Lemuria that in the cycle, in the energy of change, opportunities were ignored. Is it possible in the period where the energy of your planet demanded change that there was a refusal to do so? You see, when something enters the cycle of change, it is mandatory that change will occur. The only real choice is how the change will manifest. Another way of explaining this is to say a refusal to transform during the energy of change will still create very drastic changes, because no choice is still a choice. Change is imminent. Your planet is going to change. That is a given. Although it appears to you that change is always occurring on your planet, the change we are referring to is about major paradigm shifts. We acknowledge that smaller, minute changes occur around your planet each day. That is not what we are referring to. Clinging to the past and refusing to accept the opportunity to change will not allow the status quo to remain. We choose not to explain in greater detail how the energy of change operates at this time, partly because your limited dimensionality prevents you from truly comprehending it, but more importantly, your understanding of how the cycle of change works will not help you at this important time in human history. What is crucial for you is to focus on how you really want your planet to change. Because as we have said, it will change. Look no further than the country known as the United States of America, an interesting name for a country that seems to be choosing dividing over uniting these days. This is an example of the change that will be occurring all over your planet. Unfortunately, this may be an example of how following the ways of the past will create very different changes now that you are in the cycle of change. Maybe, just maybe, this is how Atlantis and Lemuria chose to handle their energy of change. Holding on to the ways of the past, no matter how evolved a culture is, when in the cycle of change, can create very unpredictable results. So we invite you at this very important time in human history to take very seriously this great opportunity for change. For we can assure you that changes, big changes, monumental changes, will be occurring on your planet in the near future. But if enough of you begin to direct those changes with a view to creating a new paradigm, if enough of you can have the foresight to consciously make monumental changes, it is possible, maybe even probable, that you will not follow Atlantis and Lemuria into oblivion. Let us assure you that human life will always exist on your planet, and it will remain the place of free choice. But the repercussions of the choices made by your collective consciousness at this time will determine how your human history is written. Each and every human being can help your planet take steps that will allow your cultures to remain and flourish. The choice is yours, as it always has been. But remember, no choice is a choice, and not always a prudent one. We bring you this message from a place of love Our love for you is unconditional and everlasting. We are here for you whenever you choose to call upon us.